Hi Design Tech students. So today we are going to learn how to make our funnel. So one template piece is going to contain all the parts that you're going to need to make your roller coaster funnel. Before you start, make sure you have your tape, scissors, a pen and ruler for scoring, and a piece of paper so that when you're scoring, you're not drawing on your desk. Okay, so we have to cut these pieces out and then score them. I'm going to start with the long funnel wall here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that piece out, and then we will score and fold that. So make sure you cut along the bold lines. Okay. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to score my long funnel wall so that I don't have to individually mark all of those little tags there, those pieces. I'm going to do it in one line. Okay, and go back and forth a couple times. Make sure that's indented on the other side. Okay, that should be good. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides. And then what I'm going to do here for all these little pieces, I'm going to cut straight across the top so I can get that all nice and easily. And then I'll cut out those little triangular teeth pieces. Got a little excess here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these little triangle pieces out, making sure I don't cut beyond that fold line. These are all going to be little attachment points to our funnel. So this does take a while, but this is the long wall, and it'll make the short wall seem like a breeze. Okay, here we go, home stretch. And then this last little piece. Okay, move this out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up all these little tags, these attachment points, and get rid of any hanging pieces if you have them. Okay, so this is where it's going to attach to the curve of the funnel. So I'll show you when that's done. So this is a completed funnel, and you can see these are all the little attachment points, and that is the long funnel wall. So we've got that ready. I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to continue cutting out our pieces. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the short funnel wall. And actually, once I cut this out, I can do the scoring on this piece of paper. I'm going to score the short funnel wall and the funnel entry. Okay, and again, remember, it's just connecting the dots. All those dots are where you are going to be folding your coaster pieces. So line that up. Back and forth a couple times. Do the same thing for the entrance. And then I'm going to do this piece, but I'm going to make sure that I don't mark the piece ahead of it. We are just folding right here. Okay, once you have that scored, you can go ahead and cut all of your pieces out. Whenever I can, I like to do a straight line so I can do less cutting. So I'm going to do the same thing for the short funnel wall where I cut across the top of these pieces. Then I'll cut the small triangular pieces out. Make sure that you're cleaning all these little pieces off the back. Also make sure you're keeping your area clean because this one's got a lot of paper scraps. So I'm just going to keep it on here but move it out of the way. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the long funnel wall. And I'm just going to bend these little tabs up, and that's what's going to hold on to the bottom of our funnel. So I've got long wall, short wall. Let's go ahead and get the funnel entry and the funnel flap. Just a couple more. That's the last of these tabs here. Okay, so then we're going to fold this piece. So it's kind of like a straight track. We're going to have the walls here and then the track. So we're going to fold all this up. It's going to hold our marble in. So this is where your piece is going to attach to the straight track. And then this is what's going to lead you into the funnel. So then these little pieces are going to fold up as well. Okay. Then we're just going to cut out the funnel flap. That's going to go right here. And that's an optional piece. Okay, that helps kind of guide it along the outside edge. A more dramatic coaster ride. But some people find that it slows it down because it's bumping that flap there. So that's completely up to you. But we'll get there. Right now, let's just cut it out in case we want to use it. Last round edge. Okay. And then set my finished pieces to the side. And then I've got one more piece to cut out, and that is the funnel itself. So this is your funnel floor. Okay, that's what it's labeled. I want you to pay attention here. You're going to cut along the bold line. So you're going to cut up and then make this circle and kind of like a little lollipop shape. You're not going to do anything to the gray area. Okay, we're not going to do anything here yet. We're actually going to be tucking this underneath this side. So we need this gray area still. So just cut along the bold line. Okay, so I'm going to cut up. I'm going to cut this circle out. It's easier to turn the paper as you're cutting, and that helps you make your circle. Okay, so I've got all of my pieces cut out. I'm going to take a moment just to clean up my area. Like I said, this has got a lot of scraps. Okay, so now to assembling. We're going to need a lot of tape here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to create the funnel itself. So you can see just by bending this under, the gray area under, and matching up those arrows, okay, you're going to get a cone shape, and that's going to be your funnel. If you wanted it to be more pronounced, you could overlap more, but I would say for our first go at it, we are just going to match up those two arrow points that they're touching and hold it together with one hand, and then I'm just going to tape it on the back. Making sure it's nice and secure. We don't want our funnel flying apart. Okay, so we have the cone shape to our funnel. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start attaching the walls. So if you don't have a tape dispenser, or if you do a tape dispenser but you still want it to be easier for this next part, I would suggest cutting a bunch of little pieces of tape and have that ready to go, because you're going to be holding pieces and taping at the same time. I think just having it prepped is going to make it a lot easier for you. So I'm just getting my tape ready here. And you don't need large pieces. We just need small pieces to tape the tabs to the cone. It doesn't matter really where you start putting the wall together, because you can turn your funnel any way you want. So it's going to be basically the same shape. It's just wherever you're going to place it on the tracks. So wherever you decide to start, you are going to match up the fold with the edge of the funnel floor, the funnel floor piece. Okay, so I'm just going to start taping all of these tabs down. Okay, I'm going to move forward a little bit and hold a piece and then tape behind it. Again, making sure it's nice and secure. Go in just one or two pieces at a time. Sometimes you might need to flip it over and just make sure it's nice and secure. So this is a little bit of a process, not too difficult, but it does take a while. Gotta get all these pieces down. You can see the wall is starting to come together now. securing some extra pieces here. You see why I said have your tape ready, right? Okay, you're in the home stretch. Ooh, okay. Let's go back and secure everything. But that is the long funnel wall there. Okay, so we're 1/2 done. So what we need to do now is I'm going to put the funnel entry on. Okay, so for the funnel entry, the piece on the back side is going to be just like we were doing for the long wall. Okay, it's got these little tabs that connect. And then you want to match up the curve of this entry piece with the curve of the funnel floor. Okay, and if it overlaps a little bit, that's fine. You would rather have the funnel entry overlap just slightly on top of the funnel floor than behind it, because if it's behind it, you're going to run into the problem of it banging up against this side here. Okay, so I'm going to make sure it's matched up in where I want it. Okay, that it matches that curve. And then I'm going to go to the other side and tape the wall together and then start taping the tabs together. So an easy thing to do is just to match up. Let's see if I can make the lighting better so you can see it. You'll see it here. Match up the folds. So you can see that bend is going to match up with the bend here. I'm carefully going to tape these two pieces together. And then I'm going to tape the tabs down. Same thing, I'm going to hold it. Tape those tabs down. Okay, so now I have to, on the other side, tape the entrance to that piece. And you don't want it to overlap a whole lot. Just slightly if needed. So I'm just kind of like scooching my finger out of the way and then taping again, making sure I'm holding it nice and secure. If you see any spots that kind of feel like they're hanging up or you've got tags, go ahead and just tape that down too. Okay, so now I have the entrance here. Okay, so again, I showed you guys this is where it's going to connect to a straight track and it's going to lead your marble down the funnel. So we've got a couple more pieces to put on and we are done. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put the short funnel wall on. When you go to put this wall on, I want you to start right here where it meets up with the funnel entry. Okay, we're going to start here instead of trying to match it to this side because you can see that there's like some overlap. These pieces, it's going to overlap and it's going to go behind the long wall. If you tried to start it here and match it up perfectly, right, with match those two walls, you're going to run out of room. Okay, so you want to start right here in kind of that crease where the funnel entry is, and then we're just going to go ahead and tape it the same way we did with the long wall. So matching up the bend of the tag with the edge of the funnel floor. And by now, you've probably gotten the hang of it. Taping these little tags down. Every once in a while, make sure you go back and secure all those pieces. You don't want something flying up or flying off. Okay, and then here's where the short wall is going to overlap with the long wall. Okay, almost done. Taping those two tags down. Make sure it's nice and secure. And now put a little extra tape on there. Okay, and then I'm also going to tape the wall together here, holding those pieces together. So now this is really starting to look like a funnel. The last thing, this is optional, is the funnel flap. Okay, so that can go here and lead your marble in. It can go to the side like this, okay, and kind of guide it in. So either way, if you're going to put it on the side here, you have to cut this little piece off, or you can have the piece lead in. I'm going to have it here, so I'm just going to cut this excess. And again, the flap is optional. I think it creates a more dramatic turn, like spinning motion of your little coaster marble piece. But sometimes if you're already at the point where your marble's losing speed, this can slow it down a little bit more. So completely up to you. Remember, this is your coaster. You can make modifications to these templates to make it work for your design. It's just here as a guide. Okay, so this is your funnel. Okay.